Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk about some pretty startling news based on the video I made yesterday, because we were able to take a look at the data mines, and it does not actually look like there's going to be any Gladiator event for next week. Now, why is this an issue? Well, we got some statistics that I'm going to be going through with you, but more importantly, I do want to once again point out, guys, if you haven't checked out my video from yesterday, it is in regards to next week, where there's going to be a pocket dimensions. You'll be needing both Illuminati and as well as the Annihilator characters to partake. It's a leaderboard once again for the limited Isolate Purple resources, and as well, it is nice that we don't have to hoard any campaign energy, especially given the last few weeks here. But it does look like there's going to be a power core component, so that's probably going to be the differentiating factor. And as well, for folks that have 5 stars and above Annihilator characters utilizing War, you're going to be getting bonus points. Anyways, now that's out of the way, I just want to talk about quickly why this is going to be a concern, because now that we've seen the data mines for next week's event, we know that Gladiator is not coming next week. And why is this an issue? Well, if you guys have been tracking the releases of characters, you know, it is getting wider and wider. This is the most recent characters, the newest characters that have been added into the game. So what I've documented here is their initial offers that came in. So those are the days that the red stars came in and folks can start using money to buy characters outright or waiting. I've also added in the free-to-play event, because these are the confirmed events of when said character is actually in game for the majority of the community to actually earn shards towards ultimately the unlock. Outside of spending means or using power cores, typically the free-to-play events are usually the ones that allow for that unlock, right? And as you can see, it was sunshine and rainbows here, with North Star, Guardian, and Sasquatch being part of the alpha flight. It was an average here of around 10 to 11 days, so a little less than 2 weeks after their introduction of being added into the game, they got the free-to-play event. Shuri Black Panther, very, very similar to what we've seen with Alpha Flight, right? Like, it was around that average, coming in July 2nd, and then expected event July 15th. It was all good. And then all of a sudden, we kept waiting. We were wondering what was happening with Hank Pym, because the showcase was on for the Illuminati characters. Folks were getting pressured, wanting to, obviously partake and get a chance to unlock Captain Britain if you were going to spend on both these characters. But his event was nowhere to be seen. And then finally, when his event did come, we documented it, and it was a historical. This is a long time that a character has been introduced into the game and then finally added in the wave of free-to-play event. And that was from July 11th to August 15th, giving us the span here of 25 days when the actual event came. And actually, this did happen after the showcase already wrapped up. So it was very, very disappointing for folks that just wanted to partake in those activities with Hank and couldn't, even because his free-to-play event was not even around. So there I was thinking to myself, it's got to be an outlier. There's no way that this is going to be the new norm. Let's wait and see. Fingers crossed. Let's see how this new Illuminati team, this new Annihilator team is going to be, especially seeing how meta changing they are, and they're going to completely reshape the arena meta as we've seen. Gladiator announced and offers entered August 6th. We still have not seen his event. Gore came in August 14th. And Thanos Endgame is coming this upcoming Friday on August 23rd. What I have highlighted in yellow here, ladies and gentlemen, is the possible potential free-to-play event for each of these characters. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all, because these are also some assumptions that we're making right now. We know next week is not going to be inclusive of Gladiator's event, because we know it's going to be that Pocket Dimensions event. But even more alarming is the fact that it requires Annihilator and Illuminati characters. So by having this event that occurs before Gladiator's free-to-play event, it's completely pressuring folks to spend or invest in characters they may not want to, such as Silver Surfer and Ultimus, being important members of the team, don't get me wrong, but compared to the other three, it's night and day. It's not even comparable. So the expected dates here, as you can see, is September 3rd, which is the week following, assuming that they are finally going to be adding him in following the next week. And then after that, it should be, back to back to back. It should be Gore following, and then finally Thanos Endgame, basically near the end of the month for September. Why that's interesting, though, however, is after Gore's event on September 11th, that's actually going to be the end of this event right here, the Annihilator Initiative. So this one is participating in August events, and as you can see, in 20 days it runs out, which is right around the time that we would expect Gore. So could Gore be a monthly character for the month of September? It's possible. It's possible that it could be Gore and Thanos Endgame combined together. And even as we've seen with the milestones that we have right now that we can go through, they actually have the Gladiator orb fragments here. They have some Gore orb fragments and Gladiator again. So they've included some, but it's just not direct shard count. And as well, these orbs have been absolutely atrocious for getting character shards. I mean, I would say on average, every 10 orbs, you maybe get like 3 or 4 shards of the character, maybe. Unless you got lucky with maybe a purple drop where you can get potentially 8 to 10 shards plus, or even that mythical gold drop. I actually did land 100 shards on Gladiator. That's why I have so many Gladiator shards. It's because 100 out of these 126 shards right here shown came from one of those rare drops. I don't know what this means, guys. So it's really unfortunate because if you guys have been involved in Arena, you already know how different and difficult it has been. I mean, almost every matchup you're up against, especially if you're in the top 25, top 50, you're probably up against some variant of Gore and Gladiator right now. And Thanos Endgame coming Friday is going to completely also reshape that. So it's significant. It's a very significant update because now that we have all the facts here and we still don't know if Gladiator is coming the week after, what does this mean for the community, guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below, but I do have a couple of things I want to talk about here real quickly that could be potentially why this is happening. So number one, they could be phasing out free-to-play events. It's very similar to how, if you guys recall, some of the best events back in the day was when we went through, similar to what you see on Annihilation Showcase. It was campaign events where you farmed character shards for said week, but those orbs directly gave you a shard count of the character. Because it was such a fan favorite, they took it away. And that's why we haven't seen a campaign event specifically for a character. I don't remember. It's been over a year now, at least. But yeah, it used to be a fan favorite. It used to be the way that you can get potentially a 4 or 5 star character completely free to play from the event itself, using power cores and just being smart with farming nodes. Reason number 2. Could they be, obviously delaying these free-to-play events intentionally, which probably some factor of accuracy here, but they're delaying it so that way it FOMOs you to go into the store here to purchase these characters outright because you just don't care at this point. You're just pressured. You want to spend. You need to keep up. Boom, $129 directly unlocking Gore right here for a 4-star, just like that. Easy money for Scopely and Marvel Strike Force, right? Super easy. That's also why they've been revamping the Strike Store to add more value here and, once again, pressuring folks to spend. Lastly, it could be reason number 3. They're just not ready. It's similar to how, if you guys have been following what's going on with Odin, him getting already added into the game here in terms of the profile picture. You see him right there. And as well, the fact that they changed him from a legendary character to a mythic, which made them scramble a bit to completely rework and add in this Dark Dimension 8. Who knows how long this has been in the scenes, but they've had to obviously pivot around that, adding in ISO 8 purple events and so forth. So it could be the fact that they're just not ready to execute events and therefore they have been stalling, but then also taking advantage of the opportunity that they can pressure folks to spend, especially given how notable this new Annihilators team is. Those are my 3 reasons I can see it. Which one's more likely, which one's less likely? I'll leave that up to you guys, but either way, it's unfortunately really bad news for the free-to-play folks because this is why I always preach hoarding. This is why I always, being free-to-play myself, I always try to highlight that we need to manage our resources effectively for moments like this because you just don't know when moments like this happen. And back to what I showed earlier, right? If this means that a character's introduction into the game and they're available a month later, that's going to be huge pressure for folks playing because we're going to have a harder and harder time to stay up to date. And it also urges us to hoard more resources. And that could very well be maybe the reason why, obviously, the arena got reshaped here and there was a massive amount of power cores getting added into arena because now they're trying to pivot and push events further away as a result of this. So almost in a way kind of, scaling expectations as a result of them adding this quality of life here. We're perceiving now, we're finally seeing the consequences of it. So Either way, guys, we're only going to know in due time. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the next team. We'll be keeping an eye out for it, but next team is likely going to be the Orcus Tech team. So we'll be once again tracking the offers and the free-to-play event, and let's see what happens with the averages, guys. I hope this is just a one-off, similar to Hank Pym. Everything going on with Annihilators and then pivoting, but who knows? It could be the new norm, and I think that's kind of the reality we may have to come to terms with. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As usual, love hearing back from you. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.